Coming up today on Locked On Texas Tech, regardless of the result in Arlington, the Red Raiders a lock for the college football playoff. Says us right now.
You are Locked On Texas Tech, your daily podcast on the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Great to be with you again on Locked On Texas Tech on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Now the number one sports podcast network in the world, always free and available on YouTube or anywhere you get podcasts. And thanks as always for making us your first listen. Today's episode brought to you by Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use our code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. With the only Chris Level, I'm Casey Cowan. Chris, great to be back with you once again. And kicking off arguably the biggest week in the history of your football program, as it is now a conference championship game on the horizon. For the first time in the Big 12, you're headed to Arlington, and we've got a whole lot to get to on that matchup. And I do want to get to the matchup itself in a way on today's episode, Chris, getting to maybe some of the preferences we discussed as far as potential foes over recent weeks. We now know it is BYU. Is that actually what we were asking for? We'll get to that in just a moment. I also want to get to the bigger picture, of course, and the big dance, the college football playoff. With your win on Saturday and now your regular season resume in its totality, are you a lock no matter what happens in Arlington to be one of those in the college football playoff? But here we are as we look ahead to what's going to be the biggest parties in the history of Red Raider athletics, Chris. We've had some big ones on the hardwood in some recent years, thankfully. The kind of which we had never experienced before, but this is of a whole nother variety. It's that old front porch of the university where you're going to be partying this time around, Chris, and probably in a way like nothing we've ever experienced before.
No, never. I mean, this has been unattainable for you. This has been like the stated goal, and it was clearly, I wasn't trying to dumb it down, but it's like, yeah, of course, if you get to the Big 12 championship game, you want to win it. So Big 12 champions is the goal, but like, get there first, like just punch your ticket, get there, achieve that. And you've done this. And now you have, you're going to be, I don't know, close to a double-digit favorite maybe to do just that. I just, this is kind of a culmination of so many things, and really it should be a celebration for not just what you've done, but for the league. I mean, the league's putting 2 11-win teams in this thing. And I think that's worth noting. It's really like in the 2 biggest brands. I mean, I don't, some will disagree with that. That's fine. But the 2 biggest brands right now, that are moving the needle and that are heavily written about and followed and all these things are 11-1. And I mean, these 2 teams are combined 22-2, and they'll play for a trophy, and the Undertaker will be there with a belt. And I mean, it's going to be a damn circus. Right. And I'm here for it. All of it. I've had these conversations with people internally and then friends of mine and all that. It's almost as if, like, sometimes I have a hard time enjoying like what has happened to get to this point, just because you're waiting on the next trap game, you're worried about this injury, you're waiting for the rug to get pulled out, and all these things. And I think it will really hit home Saturday morning in Arlington, Texas, because I think that place will be totally packed with a heavy Texas Tech flavor, and you've earned that right. There's nothing fluky about you earning the right to be in that game. And Joey, you know, after the game Saturday, I appreciate him for a variety of reasons, because I think he's been a blessing for the football program, for the fan base. He's just been this connector, this glue that has just put it all together and gotten people to believe in him and trust in him. And for him to grasp the magnitude of how meaningful this is to people, I greatly appreciate, because he had a hard time getting through it with his emotions. And It's everything. I just love it.
You like that. Not that you like to see a grown man cry, but you love that. I did too.
Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
because he gets it. It's like he understands the pain, the suffering, the frustration, the bad football, the fact that this has been so unattainable for so many years. He's been here before, with another program, and that was the goal. Everybody put this together for this particular game. And yes, you're putting it together for this game because it could mean it lead to more, but that's what this whole thing was all meant for, is coming up Saturday morning. You're for the most part healthy. You're playing well. You've just dropped the hammer and emptied out stadiums across the country, including your own, including others. But you will not empty this stadium out. This crowd will stay till the very end, regardless of the score, in my opinion, because somebody will hoist a trophy, and you just don't get to play in many games that allow for that. So I hope that if you can get there, that you are there, if you have the means to go, but yeah, it should be a fun week build up. And this is the best game for the Big 12 conference. And you ask about, was this your preference? I don't know if I knew who I was rooting for to get there. This is the best thing for the league, and it probably is the best thing for Texas Tech. And so let me explain that. Because you have an 11-1 team that is ranked in the top, what were they last week, like 12th or something? I don't know. They ended up beating UCF by 20 or whatever it was. And so if it doesn't go well for you, you've probably have lost to the best other team in the league. And I think there's a lot of people that feel like, because of the scenarios, because you took care of business in West Virginia, that you're in no matter what here.
Lock it up. Tell me it's locked, Chris.
Yeah. I can't say. We'll probably get a good indication, on Tuesday night. If you are to move up at all with A&M losing and get into that top four, I think that may solidify it. Because they've pointed to your margin of victory. They've pointed to the fact that your one loss was on the road with your backup quarterback. They have, all these, and obviously Arizona State didn't get it done against Arizona, and they're an 8-4 team, I guess it was. But I think there's a lot of people that are going to suggest that you're in no matter what here, regardless of the result. Now, what you can't have happen is like a lopsided loss. That's where it gets a bit murky. But if you play a good game, then no matter what. But I don't want to get into all that, because I think Joey is going to get greedy here, and I'm right there with him. You want that trophy. There is a trophy case. Well, I'll save that story for here in a second, because I've talked long enough.
No, Seth, come on, man.
Okay. All right. So after
an empty shelf,
and I know you're now aware of that.
Yeah.
Joey did this at Cedar Hill, and he told that story to me in our post-game interview in Morgantown. When I showed up at Cedar Hill, I had them like expand or build this trophy case, and we didn't have anything in it. And he got questioned about it, like, what are you doing? He's like, preparing for the future. And he goes, now that thing is full. And so when they're doing the Womble and all that stuff, there's not as many trophies in there as you would like. There's some. But he specifically built some places for Big 12 championships. And in that space is just this little block with the word believe on it. And it's got a double T on it. And I think Jonathan Boutros, who's one of the admins for Texas Tech, does a phenomenal job on the financial side of things, gave that to Joey, and it just sits in there. I've tweeted out a picture of it. And this is just how this dude works, man. Like, this is what's happening. Like, we are going to achieve these things. I don't know how soon, but we are going. And so here it is. You're on the cusp of it right now. And so I think there is a lot of belief to follow the word there, the whole why not us. But it's not going to be easy. Now, granted, I thought that West Virginia wouldn't be easy, and it was. This will be a little bit different because these guys played you pretty tough last time. You won by 22 points. He'll have his guys ready, and they have to win. I don't think they can afford 2 losses to the same team and get into the CFP. Some will disagree with that. I'm just not one of those. I think they absolutely have to win to get into the CFP. Otherwise, I think you're looking at a one-bid league. And maybe there's some scenarios out there to where an 11-2 team that lost twice to Texas Tech gets in or barely gets in, but I don't know. But I think they feel like they've got to win to get in, and that's why you should expect to see the bucket emptied. And they are capable of the gadgets, the tricks, the specials, all the things. So we'll see what we get on Saturday. We got all week to talk about that.
Coach Maguire, a confirmed vision board guy, but we're not talking glitter ribbon and Elmer's glue. We're talking trophy cases. That's the vision board. You build one. If you build it, they will come. He's going fill the dreams on us. So I'm happy. I've seen it work before for Mr. Kinsella, and hopefully going to work here for Texas Tech as well. But I am kind of curious, Chris, as far as the CFP angle is concerned. There are so many. I mean, Texas Tech has done everything they can do thus far, obviously, to cement themselves. But there are so many things happening outside of Lubbock, Texas, that are also impacting this convo, whether it's the Aggies being pantsed once again by Big Bro back on the block, giving you noogies. You got to feel bad for them. And by feel bad, I mean wish that they'd noogied them up even worse. Steve Sarkisian, you're goofy. Go home. None of what you're saying is making sense. But nonetheless, thank you for doing what you did. It's still real to me, damn it. And, Chris, I would also say Oxford, Mississippi, a point of interest for me as well over the weekend and beyond. First, today's episode brought to you by Gametime. Have you ever decided at the last minute to head to a ball game with friends or family? Maybe it's game day and you suddenly feel the call of the stadium. That's exactly where Gametime comes in. It's the easiest way to grab last-minute tickets without the stress. And with the money you save on tickets, you can then splurge on foods, drinks, gear, and more. Gametime makes it all possible. And best of all, Gametime makes buying tickets fast and simple. Prices on the app actually drop the closer you get the first pitch, and they've got incredible last-minute deals, clear seat views, and a lowest price guarantee that takes the worry out of buying. And if you're like me, you get tired of endless scrolling trying to find the best deal, and that's why Gametime's Zone Deals is the go-to move, since it automatically picks the best seats in your section for you at the best price. And as always, you can get a view from your seat right there in the app. So before you buy, you know exactly what you're going to see. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use our code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and use our code LOCKEDONCOLLEGE, Locked on College, for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. Last minute tickets at the lowest price, guaranteed. And so many things outside of the 806 maybe adding to the playoff dynamic for the Red Raiders and others, right? Kind of in a weird non-scoreboard way.
Yeah. Yes.
Take a big breath before that one.
This sport, I mean, they'd send the script back because it wasn't believable. I mean, we talk scripts here a lot on this show, and some of this stuff, it's like, I mean, God, I hope there's some 30 for 30s coming up years to come based on some of this chaos, namely the Lane Kiffin one. So A&M loses. You're right. They will fall. We just don't know by how much. It could allow you to move up. And then you're into that bye category where you would earn a first-round bye. The ACC, SMU got down 31. I think they were down 24-7. They were down 31-14 in the fourth quarter. They battled all the way back. Rhett Lashley has 8 seconds left. They could have run one more play to maybe get some more yards and then kick a closer field goal, but they miss a field goal and they miss out on the ACC title game. So the ACC title game is Duke with 5 losses and Virginia. These two teams played a couple of weeks ago. Virginia won by, I think, 17 points. And so that those spots is a weird idea or situation, because you're going to see Miami put in all the graphics and all the brackets and all that, because they're the highest ranked, but they're not going to be the champion. They can't, obviously, as we're sitting here talking about, they're not playing in the league title game. And if Duke were to win that ACC title game, there's a chance that the ACC would not have a representative in this deal, or their champion wouldn't go, because it's the 5 highest ranked champions. It's not the top champions of the Power 4 and then the other one. It's just 5 highest ranked conference champions. So I mentioned that to offer up James Madison now in the chat.
Yeah.
But that would require Duke to win the ACC title game. You have Ohio State and Indiana, who are ranked, tops right now. Somebody's going to lose. If that is a game that is lopsided in any way, it doesn't matter who wins. That could be an interesting scenario to follow on the loser of that game and how far they would fall. Okay, that they're not going to fall too far, because one thing that we've learned, and this is like good for news for Texas Tech, is a loss in a conference championship game doesn't punish you near as much based on past precedent with all the computer formulas, the committees, and all the stuff. This is one thing that's held true. Doesn't mean that you don't get punished for a loss. It just that it's not as severe. How about that? So That's why I think you winning in Morgantown, you're in a pretty good spot here. But you want your Big 12 trophy, and you want to be in a scenario to where you want a home game or you want to bye, because a loss, it may drop you to, okay, now don't give a bye. Now you don't have a home game, but now you're in, but now you're going to have to travel, and you're going to have to go to Tuscaloosa or Athens, Georgia, or Eugene, Oregon, or Norman, Oklahoma, or I don't know. I mean, I'm just throwing out hypotheticals there. The Ole Miss thing, though, is the most bizarre thing, because I'm not some Ole Miss guy. I don't care. My son went to go look at it. It was too far away. He liked it. He's like, yeah, it's too far away. I was like, okay, thank goodness. I wasn't ready to do the hotty toddy thing, but I'm trying to let him make his decisions and live his life, because it's his. It's not mine. It's one thing I've learned as a parent. Like, you can't. There are too many parents out there that try to widen home plate and try to recreate their own lives. You got to let these kids spread their wings and use them. And so, thankfully, he's using his to just fly over across town to Texas Tech. But I've thought about Ole Miss throughout this deal, because I've looked at Ole Miss's side of things a lot. It just sucks, man, because they are having a similar season to you. This is the best season their program has ever had in the regular season ever. They did not make it to the conference championship game, which would have further complicated this scenario. But it and depending on when you see this, I don't know what dynamics will have changed, but by all accounts, Lane Kiffin is coaching at LSU next. And, leading up to all these things, it's like, hey, man, you don't let me coach in the playoffs. I'm taking my coaches. I'm going to poach your roster. And so I was having a conversation on the plane on Saturday night, and I'm thinking, like, the oddest thing about this is why we all do this. This is why he does this, to get to this point, and then you pull the ripcord. Right. And again, you are allowed to go live and coach wherever you want, big picture. I can't tell you what makes you happy or where you're supposed to live, and if it's a free country, right? But it's just, in this context with this sport, it's the most weird thing ever. Like, you finally got it. You can go win a national championship. And does he not believe that he can with this group at Ole Miss? And so, like,
now he's got to go somewhere that he can build what he is currently a part of. That makes total sense.
Yes.
It's almost, Chris, like going to the NBA Finals and then saying, I got to blow this team up so I can build a team to go to the NBA Finals.
We've seen that before.
Doesn't quite add up, right?
We've seen that before. Yes, we have. Even locally with the team that you and I, with the team that you and I.
And I feel not sorry for Ole Miss fans in any way, shape, or form.
No, I look at it from, like, I tell you who I do feel sorry for are those players get caught in the blender, and they're probably well paid. It just, the whole thing just is an awkward mess. Like there's, and it's gonna affect. Like the point that we're bringing up here is it is likely to affect Ole Miss's ranking here, and it's going to set some new precedents here. I don't know. I just would think of myself in that same scenario. No, I don't want him. If he's going to coach at a rival, absolutely not. Do I want him coaching the guys here? Your heart isn't here anymore, or you would have stayed. But the whole thing just is.
It's like, hey, Lane, you pinky promise to keep it to football and no portal pitches. You swear not to poach the roster that you're coaching. There's no way I leave him in that spot.
Well, yeah, and like, I mean, are we kidding ourselves that he's not going to really do this anyways? Though, I mean, he's gonna surround himself with players he knows and coaches that he knows. This is what they do. It's just a mess. So,
and I love it. And by the way, I'm going to take issue with you saying they're having a similar season. First, today's episode brought to you by Omaha Steaks, and the holidays always feel a little easier when you already know the perfect gift. And Omaha Steaks makes it simple to do just that. And whether you're treating yourself this season or sending something memorable to family and friends, Omaha Steaks is going to deliver handcrafted perfection right to their door. And this week is the best time to jump in because their cyber sale is here and the deals are huge. And every time you give Omaha Steaks as a gift, the reaction is going to be the same. Excitement when the box arrives and even bigger smiles when everything hits the grill. And you can always bank on top shelf quality with incredibly tender steaks, rich flavor, and meals that make hosting or weeknight cooking easier than ever. Honestly, it's the kind of gift that brings people together and you don't even have to guess anyone's size. So save big on unforgettable gifts with Omaha Steaks this holiday season. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide and an extra 20% off select favorites during their cyber sale. And for an additional $35 off, use our promo code COLLEGE at checkout. That's omahasteaks.com, promo code COLLEGE. Terms apply. See site for details. By the way, I'm going to take issue with you saying they're having a similar season to us. I know what you mean, but I just want to clarify. No, they're not, because our coach doesn't hate us, not trying to leave us.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. We are in the great state of Texas. You're in Mississippi. The start of the word says miss. Like, don't stop here. You're fine with not anything they got going on.
That's
the
fair.
Coolest thing in Mississippi and the worst thing in the great state, still better than the best.
I mean,
Mississippi any day.
This is the first time in the state's history that any team has won 11 regular season games ever between the two. Yeah, I mean, so that's where I was coming at from it. Not that.
But let's take some time to poke at Ole Miss fans. Remember how annoying they were last time we got together with them? Don't forget that.
True.
And Lane. It's Lane Kiffin, by the way. We're acting like Bear Bryant has been cloned and resurrected. It's Lane Kiffin. Remember the Tennessee video? What a man. All right, Chris.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to throw in there to pile on Ole Miss fans, Aggies, Lane Kiffin, Steve Sarkisian? I'm just.
I mean, like so the whole A&M Texas game just felt gross, right? It's like, what do I want to see happen here? And it's like both scenarios are just awful. And the one that we've gotten here is now Texas screaming their PR machine in full effect.
You mean ESPN?
Oh, yeah. I mean, just all of it.
Well, how can you argue against the gauntlet, Chris? Even though you took that L against a salty Florida team that doesn't have a head coach anymore, you did tiptoe through Starkville, through Lexington, Kentucky.
Because the way I view this is because they only play an 8-game conference schedule, Ohio State was their extra conference game because their other gauntlet of a non-conference schedule was, what was it? Sam Houston, Rice, and San Jose State, which are like, I think will have a combined – 6, 7, 8 wins somewhere amongst the three of them total.
I like that they just absolve themselves in Columbus of the loss. It's like, well, we won't schedule them anymore. Well, how about don't get beat by them? You could have won the game too.
And yes, you will schedule them. Yes, you will. You've already scheduled them. Yes, you will. Like you're not fooling anybody with your little like threat to, I mean, you're just not. So
what a fun weekend.
Because and you want to know why you won't? You will continue to play premium home and homes in the non-conference because you don't have Oklahoma coming to your place ever. Like one of your biggest games is on the road every single year. I mean, this is
right
your
next to the Tilt-A-Whirl.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And it's just rich when they're Vanderbilt's our biggest home game. Hey man, you could fix all of this, but I don't know how this is going to get sorted out with all this. But yeah, the 9-3 Horns, man, preaching it from the mountaintop about being deserving.
And Chris, can I add one more thing before I wrap it up? Could we shut that door? We're trying to run a professional podcast here. Thank you.
Oh man. Okay.
Anything else you'd like to add to the conversation?
No, I think with that we can.
Thank you so much for being out.
And we'll see what Joey says later today. There's going to be a dual press conference between Kalani Sitake and Joey Maguire. This is going to be a bit different for everybody this week. You're going to get some pomp and circumstance. Your band is going to be in Arlington. I wouldn't be surprised if your men's basketball team is in Arlington because they were already going to be there with the LSU game being played in Fort Worth on Sunday, so they were traveling that day anyway. I mean, just get ready for sensation overload here, man, because we got a party to attend come Saturday at Jerry World, man. Roof open, not open, don't really give a damn, but be there if you can and be early because, again, the top, the rings and all that, it will all be there, as Calvin said.
The pomp and circumstance, the breakfast beers will be aplenty come Saturday morning. All right, Chris, appreciate the time as always, man. Enjoyed it, and we'll see you for the next one.
Sounds good. I've never meant this more than I mean it now. Keep hope alive, people, because you've earned the right to hope and hope big.
No doubt. And get subscribed on YouTube or anywhere you get podcasts. I've never meant that more than I mean it now as well. So you don't miss anything we rolled through this week. And, of course, thank you to the everydayers for always riding along. And the Matador Mob. Hit our show notes and find a link to a free 14-day trial. If you're interested in joining that crew, your direct line to Chris and myself with one-on-one text sent straight to your phone. For Chris, I'm Casey. Thanks, as always, for the time. Hope to see you back for the next round on Locked On Texas Tech.